Perfect. So if you're comfortable, stick around. If not, again, this will be uploaded on YouTube. So if you want to go check it out as well, you can do so. We will be uploading this on our YouTube channel. Okay, let's get started. Again, let's talk about emotional intelligence. And before we get started with emotional intelligence, does anyone want to share their thoughts? If I say emotional intelligence, what comes to your mind? Anyone? You can use the chat. You can switch on your microphone, say hello. You can participate.
It is empathy.
Empathy. Emotional intelligence is a big part of it is empathy. Vivek, very nice. Very nice. You said a very crucial word there, empathy. It's the IQ of 2021. Indeed, it is the IQ of 2021. And we'll touch on that, the difference between IQ and EQ, because IQ was very important back in the day, but now it's switched to EQ, or emotional intelligence, EI. Very nice. What else? What else, guys? Come on, you got to give me something. Emotional intelligence. What comes to your mind? There's no wrong or right answer, guys. Balance of heart and mind. Abdurrahman, very nice. I like that. The balance of heart and mind. The rational and irrational. How to be in the balance. We're always stuck between rational and irrational. And that's something Robert Greene says in the Laws of Human Nature. Very great, very good book if you have the time to read it. It's all about how to handle your emotions and controlling your emotions. Where he says, and that's also something that Jordan Peterson says, is that we're always in the middle between irrational and rational. And how can we be in the balance right in the middle, right? Between heart and mind. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, cool. Guys, do not feel shy to participate. Again, there are no wrong or right answers. We're all here to learn from each other. This can be a basic knowledge for you guys. Okay, some things that you already know, and it'll be a refresher, and things that you might pick up that are new. Okay, we have Edna. How you can handle and control your emotions? Indeed, definitely. Ahmed, fulfilling emotional needs for us and others. Indeed, 100%. It's not only about us, it's about other people as well. Nadine, ability to understand and manage our own emotions in a positive way. Definitely, right? If we understand, and we'll talk about this in more depth, if we understand ourselves, if we understand other people, do you want to inspire them or manipulate them? We want to inspire them in a positive way, right? Perfect. So let's get started. Again, some general knowledge. IQ stands for what? Intelligence quotient, internal quotient, intelligence quota, or impact quotient. A from Tamara, indeed, 100% intelligence quotients. And we'll talk about what's the difference between IQ and EQ. IQ and EQ are the same. What do you guys think? True or false? Are they similar? Are they different? What's more important? What puts a foot in the door? What keeps you in? False, indeed, 100%, right? Emotional intelligence and IQ, or intelligence quotient, very different from each other. And we'll dive a little bit deeper in the next few slides. The functions of emotions is to A, show us how to be nice, guide us on how to thrive and survive, or give us an idea of when we are happy, or none of the above. Emotions, what are emotions? We don't need it. This one is tricky. Could be tricky. Okay, I think someone used the annotation tool with the smallest dot I've seen in my life. Please refrain from using the annotation tools. Thank you very much. Okay. I don't see a quick answer, okay? Let me give it to you. So conception, you said B, but please refrain from using the annotation tool. Thank you very much. Okay, so indeed it is B, okay? Guide us on how to thrive and survive in our world. Emotions, we are creatures of emotions. All our decision making, our thoughts, and it comes from our emotions. We have 8 basic emotions that we feel, and when we feel a certain emotion, right, it helps us. And this was back in the day where we were still hunters and farmers. When we saw threat, we reacted to that threat. Whether we saw a saber-toothed tiger back in the day, whether we saw a lion attacking us, or whether it back in way back, right? When that fear that came upon us, made us think, okay, we have to either flight or fight. It didn't say stay where you are and just chill and be relaxed. It gave us an emotion to react. And that is how we thrived and survived through today. And yes, we don't face saber-toothed tigers anymore, but we have risk analysis. And if you read Malcolm Gladwell's Blink, How to Think, The Power of Thinking Without Thinking, it really touches on snap judgments and gut feelings. And what Malcolm Gladwell's debate or topic is that snap judgments and quick reactions that you trust your gut feeling are very accurate and more accurate than we actually think. Okay, feelings spread between people, even if we are not aware of them. They just spread. I know it's the wrong word to use nowadays with spreading of diseases and right on, very, very true, right? If I started the session, hi guys, we're gonna be talking about emotional intelligence. Now, the whole energy of the room, right? But that's why it definitely, the feelings, if you walk into a room that are negative people that are negative, then you'll feel some sort of way. Again, we have another question here. We can experience a variety of emotions at any one time. Very true. We don't have to, people tell you happiness. Happiness is a state of mind. You can feel a bit of sorrow or a bit of a negative feeling, but still be happy around you. You're grateful, you're happy, but you can feel some other type of way as well. That's okay. You have to understand that. And that is true. To address our emotions, we must be aware of them. What do you guys think? Monica with true indeed. How can we manage or how can we address our emotions if we don't know what we're feeling? And that's the importance of emotional intelligence. It really, you dive into yourself and you really understand yourself and you're aware of yourself. And then you can address and manage your emotions. And then number 7, some people have a tendency to overstate in their minds the negative aspects of a situation. True or false? Andrea with the true, Edna, true. And it pretty much, to simplify this, if you've seen that video, it's a funny video of a little child holding onto the rope and he feels like he's drowning, and then his mom comes to the rescue and just lifts him up. And then he realizes that the water is on his knee level, and he realizes, wait a minute, I'm not in trouble. Okay, but if you're not, if you take it back into a professional setting, you might overstate the problems in your life and all of that. If you're not aware of why you're feeling a certain way, what is this anger you're feeling? What is this sadness you're feeling? And you don't know what's going on. You create a bigger picture, and it's just a story that keeps on going. And a perfect example, if you watch a scary movie, I don't like scary movies, but if you watch a scary movie and you go at night and you switch off the lights and you're about to sleep, your brain starts to work. Oh, there's something in the closet. Oh, there's something under the bed. And you start to spook yourself out, okay? Number 8, do we all respond to situations the same way? Or are we different when we respond to certain situations? What do you guys think? True or false? No, definitely not. We respond, if you read the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, Stephen Covey talks about maps of reality. And everybody is, and we'll touch on that. Just remember this point. And also, Anwar, please rephrase from using the annotation tool. Thank you very much. So it touches on the ability to, that everybody experiences some sort or you experience based on your behaviors and past experiences. It makes you who you are today, and things that you react to might be very different to what I react to, because I experienced other things that made this situation a bit easier on me than you. Again, we'll touch on that again. So let's continue off. So again, this 45-minute free course will go through a few things here, a few objectives. Again, these things will, you'll see this as a refresher, and you can learn, and you'll see something that's new and things that are general knowledge. Again, we want to understand the characteristics required to support emotional intelligence. Someone with emotional intelligence, what are they like? Are they, anxious people? Are they worrisome? Are they patient? Are they honest? And we'll talk a little bit about that. And then we also want to gain a better understanding of how emotional intelligence impacts our lives. Marilyn, you have a question or you raised your hand. Please do not hesitate to switch on your microphone. Okay. And then learn how to become more self-aware. It's all about self-awareness. It's all about understanding yourself and diving into yourself, your inner Athena. okay? And really building on your emotions, knowing what triggers you, understanding them and reflecting on them. And then that's how you manage yourself and your emotions more efficiently. And when you manage yourself, again, you'll be able to see the world in a different light. You'll have a third eye when you're trying to, and again, I think Vivek, you said this, empathy, being empathetic, right? Trying to understand other people, inspiring other people, but it all starts with you. Again, so we spoke a little bit about emotional intelligence. What are emotions? What are emotions? Let's get a few ideas. Throw some ideas towards me. Let's see, what are emotions? If I say emotions, define emotions. Okay, passing thoughts and feelings. Very nice, Tamara. You know, things, the thoughts, what's the difference between emotions and feelings? And we'll go through all of that. Okay, passing thoughts and feelings. Hassan, feelings. Okay, when I'm sad, when I'm angry, right? Sadness, emptiness. Ooh, that's a happiness, definitely. Okay, right on. So what is the difference? Angry, yeah, okay, angry, definitely. How many basic emotions do we have? Relativeness, loneliness, very nice. And if you define it, let's say you want to put a definition to pain, okay, yeah, we can write that down, loneliness, passion, very nice. Let's go through and look at a definition. Let me ask you this, before I switch on to the next slide, what is the difference between emotions, feelings, and moods? And you can switch on your microphone. I think Vivek was the only person that switched on their microphone. And come on, guys, you know, you don't hesitate, don't feel shy. We're all in this together.
What are emotions?
What's the difference between emotions, feelings, and moods?
Emotion,
Yeah. Let me go through the slide. All right. Let's go and see. It's only a matter of time. And what does that mean? Again, let's define emotions. You guys said a lot of great things, passing thoughts and feelings, and you defined a lot of emotions. Let's look at emotions. Emotions are chemicals released in response to our interpretation of a specific trigger. Okay, it takes 6 seconds for the feedback loop between your brain and your body, okay, to kind of connect. We have 8 basic emotions. I know you guys stated a lot of emotions here, but we have 8 basic emotions: joy, sadness, fear, disgust, surprise, anticipation, anger, and trust. Okay, now moods. What are moods? Moods are more generalized. They are not tied to a specific incident, like a trigger situation, no, but a collection of inputs, collection of these trigger situations. Mood is heavily influenced by several factors: the environment, the physiology, and finally our mental state. Moods can last minutes, hours, probably even days, depending on the person. Now, feelings, and a lot of people use this interchangeably, but that's not the case. We shouldn't be using these terms interchangeably. Feelings happen as we begin to integrate the emotion, to think about it, to let it soak in. Feelings are often fueled by a mix of emotions and last for longer than emotions, okay? Now, let me simplify this. Very easy, it's very simple. This might seem like it's a lot, but it's very simple. Emotional triggers, okay? Think of a trigger. I pull the trigger, a bullet flies out. Okay, it's the same thing. You have a triggering situation, something that happens, boom. Now, what happens, what that bullet is your emotion. Something that happens in front of you, you feel joy or sadness or fear. Let's say you feel fear, or sorry, disgust or anger, okay? Whatever that trigger feeling or trigger emotion that you are now receiving, that chemical is released. Now you're feeling, you're in that fear or anger. Now you're feeling here, your brain starts to soak in the situation, starts to soak in this feeling of fear, and starts to build on these stories, and it just lets it soak in. And the more you think about it, the more you feel angry or afraid. And then your mood sets in, and your mood can stay. You can feel angry for a long time. Let's say you're road raging and you're angry, you get to work, you're still angry because your mood just completely switched. Now, feeling, the difference between humans and animals, and this is reverting back to the laws of human nature, is that let's say we have a lizard. A lizard, when a lizard feels scared, right? That situation happens, let's say a snake passes by or a prey, right? Now the lizard runs away. As soon as the lizard runs away, it releases chemicals. Okay, I am now safe. Boom, done. The lizard forgets about it. Us, on the other hand, and that's the difference between humans and animals, is humans start to think about that situation that happened and build stories and stories and stories, and it lets it soak in. And that's the difference between emotions, feelings, and moods, and animals and humans when they feel a certain way. Again, it starts off with a trigger, emotion, boom, feeling, boom, mood. See how it is? It's not interchangeable. The words are not, you can't use them, you can't use emotions like feelings, but you will feel a certain emotion. Okay, that's the difference between emotions, feelings, and moods. If you have any questions, you can leave them at the end or use the chat or switch on your microphone and let me know if you have any questions. Again, let's dig in deeper. What is emotional intelligence? Now that we understood emotions, and we understood the importance of emotions and what they do, let's talk about emotional intelligence. Now you have self and social. It begins with self. It begins with self-awareness. If you don't understand yourself, how will you understand other people? And if you don't understand yourself, how will you manage yourself? So it starts off with self-awareness. You understand the certain experience or that emotion you're feeling and the feeling you're feeling, and you just really try to understand why is it that you're feeling this way. You start to ask questions, right? You start to reflect, things that you can do, reflect, ask questions. You feel a triggering situation. Ooh, why am I feeling angry right now? Through that comes self-management. Okay, why am I feeling angry? What has happened in the past that is resulting in my anger today? Maybe I've experienced something similar as a child, and this is why I'm reacting the same way. Maybe I need to take a step back and find an outlet to vent. Boom, self-awareness, self-management. And if you have that, you have social awareness. You might have self-awareness, you might not have self-management, but if you understand your emotions, you can understand other people's emotions, but you can't manage them. Right? So if you have self-awareness, you have social awareness, you start to have empathy. Now you have to turn your self-awareness into empathy and not manipulation. You need to start to understand how other people feel in a good way and trying to understand them in a positive way. Why is this manager shouting at me? Why is this manager angry? Why is this person? Why is my wife? Why is my friend? Why is my partner? Why is my husband? Why is my, right? You start to ask questions and you try to put yourself in their shoes. Through that, you have relationship management. Right? Relationship doesn't mean your spouse. It means everything. It means your spouse, your colleagues, your coworkers, or your friends, your family members, anything really. You start to develop a sense of inspiration. You're an inspiration to other people. Now, here's a very thin line. You got to be careful. There's manipulation and there is inspiration. You want to be inspiring others to do good, not through manipulation. Right? You don't want to be sneaky because if you get caught, everything kind of crumbles, and that's a weak foundation to lay on emotional intelligence. Oh, I want to be emotionally intelligent so I can be manipulative. That is not the correct way. I want to be emotionally intelligent to be empathetic. Okay? I want to be able to control my emotions and help others, inspire others to control theirs. So don't let your emotions distract you from doing what needs to be done. Control your emotions, or your emotions will control you. So I don't understand when people say, leave your emotions out of work. It's not about, or leave your emotions out of a social setting, or leave your emotions out of decision-making. That is not the right way to look at it. When you deal with emotions, you don't want to leave them out. We are creatures of emotions. We thrive and survive because of emotions. So it's not about leaving your emotions, it's about controlling your emotions. It's okay to cry, it's okay to scream and shout, but it's when you're going to do that and how you're going to do that. And what are you doing? Are you reflecting before or after you're letting out all that emotions that you have? That is how you control your emotions. And if you're not doing that, then that's when you need to understand and ask yourself questions. That's when you build your inner Athena, or you build yourself from the inside out. Okay, again, let's go through quickly. We just talked about this, so emotional intelligence. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the definition here and what 3 skills that you need. So, or 3 skills that come with emotional intelligence. Okay, 3 things. Emotional awareness, or the ability to identify and name one's emotions. What am I feeling right now? Is it anger or is it disgust? Right? Is it fear or is it anxiousness or worrisome? Okay, the ability to harness those emotions and apply them to tasks like thinking and problem solving. Going back to Blink, the power of thinking without thinking and trusting your gut feeling. Can I harness these emotions and not be biased but objective? Can I do that? And how can I do that? Can I problem solve using logic and being in the balance state? I think Abdurrahman, you said that, being in the balance of heart and mind, right? And then the ability to manage emotions, which includes both regulating one's emotions when necessary and helping others to do the same. I'm not going to dive into that because I already did, right? It's all about inspiring others. It's all about helping, being empathetic and not manipulating. Let's look at some facts. Emotional and social skills are 4 times more important than IQ when considering success and prestige in professional setting. IQ will maybe put you there. It's good on paper. IQ, very good on paper. It's smart. You're using patterns, mathematical skills, all that. You can recognize patterns. So it puts your foot in the door. But what keeps you there and building relationship and networks is emotional intelligence. How you can connect physically and emotionally and mentally to one person, connecting, building a relationship, building trust and rapport. That's EQ and not IQ. Again, let's see here. Number 2, emotions are contagious. I'm sorry for using that word. We catch them and we spread them. Okay, it's you walk into a room full of negative people, you will in turn, your energy will go down. You'll literally physically feel the emotions around you. And if everybody's happy, you're happy. You'll catch yourself smiling. Emotions guide every decision we make. And now a very good book here to remember is The Happiness Advantage. Very nice book when it tells you here that if you go into a specific project, something that's very hard and challenging with the right attitude, with the right mood and the right emotion, and if you're feeling really joyful and you're going in and you're building your dopamine, physically building your dopamine by doing something that you like, you are 30% more likely to succeed and succeed efficiently. Read The Happiness Advantage, or at least at least summarize it or read the notes of The Happiness Advantage and the topic or debate that they're trying to make. Very, very interesting. Again, we are always in an emotion, even when we're trying to be emotionless. And most of all competencies or skills, knowledge, and abilities deemed for high performance were related to emotional intelligence. Ask yourself, if you think you're working 45 to 50 to 60 hours a week and that's tough, CEOs or founders or owners of companies work probably 80, 90, 100 hours a week. What makes them continue and not pull their hair? In my case, their beard, if they're men or whatever, right? So in that case, it's pretty much, it's emotional intelligence. They understand their limitations, they understand how they feel, and they have an outlet to vent. It's as easy as that, simple. Okay, so if you find yourself in a very high IQ job that requires high IQ and focus, you probably need higher EQ to keep yourself in that position and not go emotionally crazy, okay? And the majority of employee turnover is due to disagreements between employee and his or her boss and not knowing how to resolve conflict. And if you, the actual, the 2-day course of emotional intelligence, you dive into conflict resolution and emotional intelligence and communication styles. Okay, so again, how does EQ and IQ differ? Okay, here, pretty simple. EQ, street smart, helps with life, the bringer of people, and IQ, book smart, helps with tests, bringer of solution. Okay, so you have IQ in context. And just quickly, we're gonna go quickly through this. 9 ducks and 2 dogs have a total of 24 legs. True or false? I'll give you 10 seconds. Probably not enough for you to solve this, but you give me this, then you have high IQ. All right. 3, 2, 1. True or false? Anyone? All right. So false. Okay. 9 ducks and 2 dogs do not have a total of 24 legs. Okay. You can count the legs on your own time. The sequence of 4 words: triangle, glove, clock, okay, bicycle, corresponds to the sequence of 3, 5, 12, and 2. True or false? True, exactly. Nike or Nick? Yes, indeed. I think it's Nike. Definitely true, Marilyn. Yes, indeed. So the triangle 3, the glove, triangle, glove, clock. Yes, 3, 5, 12, and 2. Indeed. A pie, for some reason, I'm watching Simpsons too much, or what's going on. I'm like, wait, don't we have 4 fingers? A pie can be cut into more than 7 pieces by making only 4 diameters cuts through the center. That is true, okay? I'm just gonna go through this quickly. The letters of the word sponged appear in reverse alphabetical order, okay? And again, Monday, and then 3 of the following numbers. These types of questions you will find in an IQ test. Now, EQ in context, okay, so Muhammad is meeting his cousin Salim at a restaurant after work. Salim is 45 minutes late. When he finally arrives, he brings a friend from work with him. Nothing serious was holding him up. He and his friend simply lost track of time while watching a YouTube video. Muhammad is furious about being kept waiting. What do you think would be the best way to deal with this situation if you were Muhammad? Okay, now, emotional intelligence, see, that's the type of question you're going to see. You're going to see a case study, and you're going to find a bunch of questions. You know, let's take it one by one. We're going to take Salim aside, express my anger, then rejoin his friend and try to have a good time. Or maybe lecture Salim angrily in front of his friend, or maybe don't say anything, but bring it up next time Salim makes me mad. Very passive aggressive, watch out for these people. Make subtle remarks to Salim throughout the meal. Okay, also very passive aggressive, watch out for these people. And then leave the restaurant. I don't deserve this treatment, very petty. Ignore Salim as much as I can throughout the night to teach him a lesson, very passive aggressive. You gotta watch out for these people. And try to forget about it. Salim is there now and it's not worth getting mad about, very passive. Okay, and then number 8 is bring it up when we get home and tell him that I would appreciate an apology or at least a phone call next time. Okay, which one do you think is the best one out of all 8? If you're looking at number 5, I don't know what to say. Perfect. All of you said A indeed. So yes, it's pretty straightforward. Bring it up. So this is a very, very assertive way at looking at things and very emotionally intelligent. Salim knows, you know what, I'm going to talk. I have a bad, like right now, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm experiencing. And I want to talk about this to Salim next time I see him or when I'm at home and bring it up to him. And now it's going to be fine. We are cool. We'll choose 8. Exactly, Ahmed. We are indeed. I cannot argue with that. Okay. So again, I did promise we're going to talk about the characteristics of emotional intelligence, and I have the equation here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. Technically 8, but we're going to say 7 letters. One of the letters here, we have one of the words. So each letter is a word. It represents a word. Okay, and each word represents a characteristic of a person who has great emotional intelligence. Okay, so SA would be 2 words. Okay, stuck together as one. So let's take a look at E. I'll take the first one and then I'll give you the answer. Whatever first one I see on the screen, I will take, okay? So you gotta be quick. What does E stand for? Emotional, Tamara, okay? I like that, however, I have empathy. Empathy, definitely, right on. Ahmed, Natalie, definitely. Now let's look at H. I'll take the first one I see, but I'm looking for something specific. Honest, indeed, Natalie, perfect. And then I have O. Take the first one. Objective. Natalie, outstanding, right on. I have objective, that's the one I was looking for. Perfect, SA. Self-aware indeed. Perfect. And what about A? Okay, I will take assertive indeed. And then we have I. Remember, we talked about, I see intelligent, definitely. But we talked about something, it's either manipulation or inspiration. Perfect. And then we have P, someone who has to be very, very passionate, okay. Positive, definitely, okay. But I have patient. Someone needs to be very patient. So someone who is very high in emotional intelligence, right, will be empathetic, will be empathetic, I'll try to understand other people, will be very honest with themselves and with others, will be objective as much as they can and not be biased towards people or things or experiences or places or people. Self-aware, understanding themselves, okay? The understanding, remember, it all starts with self-awareness. It all understands with self-awareness, understanding yourself and building yourself, and then understanding others and managing yourself and managing others, okay? You have to be assertive when you're feeling a type of way. You have to be assertive, not only with other people, but with yourself. Try to develop yourself from the inside out. Ask yourself, reflect. When you reflect, don't be passive when you reflect. Be assertive, and don't be aggressive with yourself. Don't be passive with yourself. Be assertive with yourself. And I, remember, we talked about inspiration and not manipulation. And P, you have to be really patient, and not with yourself, but with other people as well, right? Definitely. Very nice. Okay, so again, let's take a look at the lessons learned from emotional intelligence. Again, before you criticize friends, family, or colleagues, put yourself in their shoes. Think about the overall goal. Why? Can someone quickly just tell me or what their thoughts are about this lesson from emotional intelligence? Before you criticize other people, put yourself in their shoes. Why should we put ourselves in other people's shoes? Why is empathy important here? Tamara? There are different perspectives to situations, 100%. There are certain things that we don't know. So you know how they will feel, 100%. You will feel and understand them very well and better, 100%. You guys just amazing, really, and so engaging. Thank you very much. And if you look at this specific point, really here, if you look at one of the leaders or the person, if you really want to leader who has emotional intelligence, look at Abraham Lincoln, one of the presidents of the United States of America. And really, you'll find that he is one of the leaders that uses emotional intelligence. And here at that point, think about the overall goal. You'll realize that what Abraham Lincoln used to do, and when they found his little drawer of notes, he used to write angry notes that would be full of anger and confrontation and just blame. And he would never send them. He would either crumble them, put them in his desk, and send other notes, or throw them in the fire so that it never reaches the specific person. And this was done just to be an outlet for him to really, put his anger and emotions and thoughts into words, into a letter, and then relax, calm down, and write the actual letter that he wants. Why? Because he was thinking about the overall goal. Now, one of his generals lost in one of the battles. If he would have written a letter saying, why did you lose? Why did what would be the overall goal? His general, one of the best generals at that time, would have resigned. And what would have happened? They wouldn't have reached their goal at the very end, which they won. What he used to do was think, what if I was in that person's position? What if I was in General Meade's position? Seeing the battlefront or face-to-face or on-hand experience, would I be making the decisions when I'm sitting down on this chair in this, natural, relaxed environment, or can I be making decisions how General Meade would making when he was in the battlefront, right? So he thought about other people before he criticized. Very important, because he thought of the overall goal. Will this help me with the overall goal or not? Now, if you're angry about an outcome, give yourself an outlet to vent. It is okay to cry. Just going back to what I was saying with Abraham Lincoln, he used to write letters. Now, what are you doing? You might be writing emails, but just don't forget, don't click send, delete them. Or write that first email with the angry email and then delete it. Or maybe go find somewhere that you want to cry. Or maybe go find somewhere where you can go boxing after your work or after something, right? Or play games or read a book or play chess. Whatever it is, have an outlet for you to vent. I listen to music till I cool down, Nadine, 100%. Don't decide when you're angry. What do you mean don't decide? If you can elaborate. Ahmed, walking, indeed. Yes, walking, exercising, listening to music. I honestly play chess. If you ever find me playing chess, just stay away from me. Letting out all my emotions through my chess. Okay, perfect, 100%. What are your outlets? I want to hear some of your outlets, guys. We have a few minutes. I want to hear your outlets. What outlets? So Ahmed, walking. Nadine, you like to listen to music. Breathing exercise and Tamara, actually excellent. One of the best ways to kind of put yourself down, and really breathing exercises, and I really recommend it to everybody. Exercise, Ahmed watching an EQ lesson, indeed. I hope I'm not making you guys angry or agitated. Meditation, indeed. Playing chess unless I'm losing. Oh yeah, definitely, like for sure. TikTok, playing PUBG, reading interesting books, listening to music, Monica, Thembi, shopping. Uh-oh, that's where the money is going. Reading something inspirational or inspiring, 100%. And I can recommend a few books right after the session as well. I'll leave the very last 5 minutes to kind of discuss if you have any questions, and if there's a poll that I'd like you guys to do as well, and if you leave your feedback as well. So we'll leave that for the last 5 minutes. Taking a shower, yes, a nice cold or hot shower. Okay, perfect. When triggered with an emotion, reflect on your past experiences, because remember, the world around us is neither good or bad, okay? The world around us is neither good or bad. The world around us is neutral. It is our past experiences which has impacted behavior, our behavior and way of thinking, that makes a person think of an object, place, or an experience as good or bad. Do you get that? It's the world around us is neither good or bad. It's who we are as a person, what we experienced in our past, what makes this object good or bad. Nothing in life is good or bad. Everything is neutral. It's how we see things. It's that perspectives, assigning meaning to experience according to our past experiences and what we believe in. 100%. 100%. Perfect. And again, I will leave you here with The Laws of Human Nature, one of my favorite books. It takes a lot of awareness to become a capable leader, but it also requires even more effort to understand people very well enough to lead them, okay? So guys, I will leave the last 5 minutes here for a poll. I will be launching a poll on emotional intelligence. I would appreciate your feedback on this poll, and to see if you have any questions. This is your time. The last 5 minutes, as promised, will be for you to leave your comments, questions, and honestly, thank you very much for your time. Thank you guys for your feedback. Thank you guys for being engaging and for really being, using the chat. I like that. Although I would love to hear your voices, but it's okay. I know it's that time of day right now where nobody wants to use their voice. I'm losing mine, so catch me tomorrow and you'll hear me as a raspy voice, okay? But again, we are on social media, guys. Don't forget to go and follow us on social media. We are on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. This recorded session will be on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook. And again, our website. We have an amazing marketing team, very, very creative marketing team that posts a lot of topics, a lot of tips and tricks and resources to use, and a lot of funny videos. If you go check us out on TikTok. TikTok could be here as well. Natalie Brown's TikTok, very nice. You'll enjoy it, trust me. Okay, again, thank you, Natalie. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for the awesome feedback. Really, thank you, Tamara. Thank you so much, Edna. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Nadine, thank you. Hassan, Marilyn, Conception, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Thank you very much. Again, I'd like to inquire about the course as well for the whole, it's a 2-day course of emotional intelligence, and it really dives in to what emotional intelligence is and all about, how we can specifically use it in terms of, like, there's a section for work, office related, for personal life, and it's from communication styles to being assertive and how, really developing a sense of emotional intelligence. And, this is 45 minutes for, what can you expect from a 2-day course? It does need a little bit more time. Anyways, thank you so much again for your nice words. And yeah, indeed, go check us out for our next free session next week. I'm not quite sure when exactly. You're going to have to do the research on that one. In any case, I am here if you have any questions. I will be switching off my camera and my microphone, but please do not hesitate to ask if you have any questions. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next time. Much love. Bye-bye.